to the big full moon, Halloween full moon. Tomorrow morning is when it's full, 7:49 a.m. And we're going to be, blasting with this full moon energy, full moon in Taurus in the Scorpio solar. So really intense, really, really intense, obviously. And so I hope you're all doing really well and managing yourselves and staying cool through all of these changes that everyone is, moving through together. I feel oddly, these are the contractions of growth. And growth, if you've ever done any therapy or you've done a workout plan or you try to learn how to play piano or whatever it is, the first thing that happens is that you realize, that you don't know how to do it. And there's a lot of doubt. And doubt is the undoer, right? In my book, my favorite line, I say it all the time because it really is my favorite sentence in my book. It says, if there's a devil, it is doubt. And what happens with doubt is it creates a undermining influence, right? If you get doubtful, you lose your optimism, you lose your momentum, you can lose your hope, right? So what's the opposite of doubt is hope. And so they're both sort of abstract conditions, but doubt by itself can really undermine. And I think there's so much doubt around right now and overt undermining, but also just this feeling of what's going to happen. And that is really true. I was looking at the astrology of this and wow, you should see this full moon. Moon is conjunct Uranus, exactly. Opposing the sun, so in a full moon pattern, and squaring Mars and all of that stuff that it's been doing. So it's volatile, it's touchy, gets its feelings hurt, it does unpredictable things. There's a lot of unrest, right? Unrest and restlessness. And what I've been saying to everybody lately in all the forms that I work through is mind your words, mind your consciousness. Be careful with what you're putting out there. The thing I just finished a meditation from Meditation Mount. And what I was saying is we the people, right, are gathering together to bring our light together to create a better world. And sometimes it takes this contrasting energy, right, because it all has to be uplifted. All of it has to be transmuted. All of it. So that means we got to see all of it. And so when you kind of lift up the rock, there's stuff under there. And we need to look at everything that's happening in our world. And almost every country is affected right now, whether it be by the corona pandemic or by the general, the financial institutions being and economics really being affected by that, which is a whole other story that's going on underneath of things that we're going to be digging ourselves out of for a while, right? And political, of course. But in every country, there's this polarization, not just here. But we're sort of the big front and center. The United States election right now is happening on a couple of days after the full moon. So you can see it's very stressed. The energy is stressed right now. And so we are the ones we've been waiting for. So don't despair, because it is our light, right? Our consciousness, all of our consciousnesses that are coming together, melding together to create a greater light, to create a greater consciousness on the planet for the greater good of everyone, right? That's the idea. And so we are exactly where we're supposed to be. We are here at exactly the right time. We're in the exact right circumstances, and I think, the frustration that everybody's feeling is, I wish it was different. Why is it like this? Why wouldn't it go back to normal? Why is it even changing at all? And it's because it takes these contrasting energies in order to make change. right? To make a baby. When you're in those contractions, it's intense, it hurts, it's uncomfortable. And so we're in that learning, right? Of learning by looking at what we don't know, what we do know. We're getting more united in what we're actually seeing, you know, and healing in the world. And some of these old structures that we've been talking about are starting to have to reorganize so that they can work better, you know. And, you know, I was thinking about this a few years ago, I can't remember, 5 years ago or something, when they were doing water rationing in Los Angeles, that you could, if you were an odd number address or an even number address, you could only water on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or the other was Tuesday and Thursday and Saturday, something like that. And it blew the pipes out in Studio City. There were floods everywhere because the pipes couldn't handle the pressure change, right? But we're having pressure change, right? Because there's this new wave coming through and a new awareness coming through. And so it feels really important, like really important, right? And our actions matter, and our choices matter, and our thoughts matter. So then going back to doubt, right? To remember that when there's a devil, if there's a devil, it is doubt, where we start to go, oh, nothing matters, screw it, doesn't make any difference, my vote doesn't matter, or life, nothing matters, you know, forget the election, because I don't want it to be necessarily political here. It's just part of the mix of what's happening on the planet, and we are making changes and decisions for change, right? So it's very, very powerful. So what we need right now, I really feel, as we go into the meditation and as we sort of, you know, set the energy for what's coming, is courage, right? The courage to be spiritual warrior, which is not embattled. It is harmless, you know, no weapons, just standing like Gandhi, right? Just standing as peace, standing as love, standing like a living angel that wants the well-being of everyone. That's what we can do and build and remember and work with right now. So the word courage, the Latin derivation is C-O-R, coreless. It's core, you know? And, you know, it's funny, is that core, it means heart. You know, and so in Latin, so core is our heart, and courage has heart in it. And in the old meanings, it meant to speak one's mind by telling all of one's heart. Courage, right? So isn't that interesting? So we're standing as heart. We're standing as love. We're standing as open beams of light that are receptive and available and hopeful, and sort of battling our own demons a little bit, because that shadowy stuff, Scorpio, we're in Halloween, you know, Hallows Eve, you know, it's a very powerful time of year. It's when things touch down. It's when things manifest. So here we are, you know, in this, you know, I feel like we're huddled together around a campfire, you know, in this little kind of secret way in meditation, right? Because it's silent and it's inner, not outer. It doesn't have a sword and it doesn't have a hammer or a bell. It's just in, right? It's in. And so we're energetically affecting light to light to light to light to all the lights in the world, and everyone has light. Everyone, right? So it's inclusive rather than exclusive, right? So as we're holding in our little campfire circle on this day before Halloween, right, coming into the election, coming into these changes that are ever changing right now and intensifying, and I really do think that, you know, the election itself will not be the end of the election, right? I think it's going to go on a bit, and, you know, there'll be more things. And so it really matters to mind ourselves, right? To mind our awareness, to not be reactive, to not get, you know, heated up. It doesn't mean that you're not going to feel feelings like that. And as a spiritual person and with spiritual, practicing spiritual approach, I am affected by things just like anybody is. But I have ways, right, to not react or act from that place as my main modus operandi, right? I have a lot of filters on that go out because I want to make my mind, my heart, my word, my thought all match up to be consistent, right? So that we hold this energetic consistence, and we hold the world as midwives. We stand in a circle around this birthing, and we're sort of, like sentry angels, right? We're like sentry angels, and you feel the power of a sentry angel where it just stands. And that's in a way what we're doing to help this happen and to keep calm within ourselves in this very volatile time. And it's been for some time, really since last October, where we've had almost a whole year of increasing tension. We're at the Narrows now, and it's like shaking, like in Contact, the movie, where her spacecraft starts to fall apart as she's getting closer to arriving, right? It's shake, 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 shake. And I feel like we're just in that state of everything's shaking loose, everything's shaking, intensifying, and you think the craft will explode, but it doesn't. It transmutes. It transmutes. Right? And that's what we're wanting here, is transmutation, to bring the energy up, not down. And so reaction and, anger, emotions that are feeling hopeless or angry or hurting each other, very sparky, argumentative things, wanting to make the point, wanting to be right, etc. All those things, we need to put all those weapons down and just hold. So that's how we're going to enter the meditation. So feeling all of that, and no judgment, right? It's like we're all in this together. We're all growing together. We're all making this world come. We're all looking at things together. It's a powerful, powerful time. And so when we go into the meditation, let's put ourselves in around the campfire of this conversation in a way. Let yourself really be close in a way. So if you've got a candle, light it now. I've got mine lit already. And we're going to do a meditation. So I want you to be really comfortable. So find a comfortable way to be in your body. You can lean against a wall. You can sit on a couch or a chair. You can sit cross-legged on the floor, whatever you like. And just start to take your space. And take your glasses off, get comfortable, right? So that you feel at ease in the moment. And gather in close, gather in close. It's this feeling of coming together rather than distance, right? Together, we're in this together. And so feel this feeling of almost camaraderie and love with whatever different views are held, that it all can be held together in this love, for the highest good. And so, we don't know how this is all going to play out, but it's going to be interesting. So as you enter this space, you just feel yourself, close your eyes. And in that space, as you land into your heart, Om, 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 right? Land into your heart. Organize yourself. Organize your physical body, your emotional body, your mental body into a harmonious hum. Om. And just feel yourself level, even, and with a pilot light on in your heart. And turn it up a little bit. Not a lot, just doesn't be, it's just a little bit up. Like you're just turning on that pilot light in the heart. And as you do, feel the interconnection and the interconnectivity between energy, that you don't need to be there, here, to feel each other, that we are connected, every one of us. And you can feel all the star points of the constellation of consciousness, of love in our world with each other. And you feel that interconnection around the world, right? The world, because there's so much consciousness on this planet right now. Right? It might not be always the loudest voice, but it is happening. There's consciousness everywhere. And so as you just sense that, you can feel the community, right, of love, of heart, of awareness that are holding for, right, this growing that we are doing. And we want to birth the baby safely, you know? And so we're being caringful as we allow this and help this happen by our own mindfulness. So as you're in your heart center, feel all these hearts. These are soul friends. And if you meet them at Target, you'll recognize each other. You know, that you can feel it. There's a connection. And everyone has this. You may not have it as developed or as awakened because maybe they're not meditating, but there's still a heart of light within every single one. And so as your awareness sees their awareness, we can awaken each other. Just by looking at each other, we can awaken. There's an old meditative esoteric technique with children that when you see newborns and very young ones, if you have a developed meditation practice, to just look at this new one's third eye. And just that looking at it, and them, of course, but you're sort of seeing with them, you're going, don't forget, right? You're not touching them or anything. It's not invasive. It's just, I see you. I see your soul, right? And that little consciousness that's open recognizes that and sees itself, right? And I see your soul. So that's what we're doing. We're connecting soul to soul, light to light, on the horizontal plane of this earth experience. And we're harmonizing together in this world where we're going to heal our world, not hurt our world, right? And elevate our world, not degrade our world, right? To raise it up, to lift it up, to bring more light, more love into this world, more awareness. So from your heart center, feel that interconnectivity. So you're aware of many others, and you may even know who they are that are literally on this meditation right now, but there's many others that are in meditation right now, right? And they have been for like 12 hours before and 12 hours after. There are people that just sit in meditation through these whole periods of the full moons for 3 days. They just meditate. And the days, it's actually 5 days, and the other outer days are getting in preparation for meditation. So there's people that just hold for us. And we are holding for everyone, right, too. So we're all, you know, it kind of trickles down as we can spread this awareness and this kindness and compassion to our world that can understand the polarity rather than be angry at the polarity, to understand that there is polarity in this yin and yang world. So how do we unify that, right? Not to make it all the same, not to make it turn gray, the black and the white turning gray. It unifies by motion. It unifies by interconnectivity, right? It starts to move. So it turns, I would say, silver, right? Full of light, right? It turns silver, sparkling silver. So, isn't that beautiful to think of? So I want you to feel and see in your heart right now, as you're starting to go into the meditation, as you get more still, see that yin and yang symbol, that dark and light within your own heart. And what you're holding is human duality, the experience of humanness, right, in your own heart. Like Tonglen, right? You inhale humanity. You inhale the duality. You inhale the polarity rather than reject it, right? We're not rejecting it. We're pulling, we're drawing it in. We're inhaling it in. And in that inhalation of inhaling in the duality and the differences, you know, of the separation, by inhaling it, we're including it. So now it's not separate anymore inside our own heart. And it begins a process of transmutation. Can you feel that? And so you see this yin and yang symbol sitting in your heart. And I want you to see it move as it starts to turn It comes alive, it comes awake. It becomes like an activity rather than a thing, the mandala of the yin and yang symbol. It becomes like a generator, like a dynamo. It starts to make energy, right? And now that black and white, with the dot of the other and the other, right, starting to move and interact with each other, and it creates energy, right? And in your mind's eye or in your heart's eye right now, because we're working this in the heart, let it start to move so much that it starts to rise. So in that motion, it's in motion in the heart, and then it begins to rise up the channel, the throat center to the head center. And now it's in the head center. Put yourself in the cave. And still that dynamo now, this action of the yin and yang starting to move, the polarity, the duality, the apparent separation, us and them, us, we, the people, right? So that polarity begins to move. And as it does in that third eye point, start to see it move so quick, fast, like electric fast, that it begins to glow like diamonds, like light, like white, like silver white light. And that black and white starts to merge and become glowing like a ball of light in your head center. Hold that. And just let yourself work with you breathing in the duality, right? Taking it in. I can hold this. My heart can hold it all, right? I can hold this. And I allow myself to hold this energy within my own vehicle, of my own instrument, right? And it doesn't throw me off, and it doesn't break me even at all. It's simple in a way. It's repulsive to breathe in something difficult, right? But as you do, you'll see it isn't hard to do at all. You inhale in the difference, right? The thing that feels like the problem, you inhale it in, and now you're holding it into the head center as it's turning glowing silvery light. And you begin to let it transmute, to heal our world, to heal our separation, to heal our polarities. And just holding that now, feel it go faster and faster and faster and faster, like an electric ball of light now. That's just moving. Apparent separation, no separation. Apparent separation, no separation. Like spirit works, like soul is. And you feel that and know that in your head center as you hold this light of the awakened consciousness of humanity. And as you do, and I'm going to add another little practice in this, I know it's a little bit layered today, but I want to do a couple of things. As you're doing this light holding of that yin and yang in motion that turns to light, there's another understanding in esoterics where from the head center, deep inside the cave of the consciousness, your conscious, not your thinking, but your consciousness, as you move straight out from that point through the third eye, there's another point that's called the Ajna center. And the Ajna center is almost like a horn, like a unicorn's horn that comes right out of the head right here. And it's not anything, but it's an energetic thing. And this is the activator for manifestation. It's a very powerful tool to understand. And it connects deeply and completely to the head center. And so Tonglen works like this. You inhale the pain, the difference, the separation, the suffering, whatever it is, the lack of love, the hate, the difference, right? And then you exhale the pattern of healing through the Ajna center to anyone and everyone that may have that similar pattern, which is everyone these days, right? Everyone has this pattern. So you're sending it out. You're sending it out, the healing, by taking it in. You inhale it, this sense of division and separation, and you exhale out the pattern of healing to all about this subject. Well, what a subject we're on. We're on the subject of humans and the experience of being in a form, in the body, feeling disconnected from our soul. We think we're not, that there is no soul. We think that there's no anything, that, and what we're doing is we're healing that whole pattern, or we can think that, right? Because there's no evidence. There is evidence. And so as we're huddled around our campfire and we're in close together, and it's deep and it's connected and it's love, you start to take in this pattern of separation and difference, and you exhale out this pattern of healing and interconnectedness, heart to heart to heart to heart. It's like a prayer, right? It's a prayer that you're sending out this love, you're sending out the balm, the soothing to our world, to each other, and to yourself. Because as you inhale it in, you're taking it in, it is like the ultimate, receiving, right? You take it in and you give it out better than you got it. And each time you take a breath, right, it starts to turn that wheel of the mandala of the yin and yang symbol to start to get it more engaged, activated, so that that mandala, I think, is a mechanism. I believe it's a tool. And that's why it's so ancient. It's the oldest one, it's been around before anything. And it's a tool we can use to raise the vibration and to start to get it spinning and to get it to be ignited, illuminated with light. And so here we have it in the head center. And as you're aware of your head center and you're holding it within your head center, gently become aware of your soul point, which is another station in a sense, almost like an outer chakra. And just get a feeling of the light of the soul. And you might even feel, some of you may feel the presence of the soul, which is much more communal, much more sensorial, like you can almost feel like this hug, where you are knowing how loved you are. How loved you are. And you allow yourself to recognize your own soul, that infinite nature of you. And just feeling that love, that light from the soul now. Because the soul is more abstracted, right? And it's not in the body. We're in the body, aware of our soul. But that soul is acting independent. We say the soul is in meditation deep. Right? So the way you connect to it is in meditation. Right? So we're connecting to our own soul. And just feel that soul point and the love of the soul for you for doing this brave courage work of being willing to transmute the energy through your own vehicle, through your own heart center, and loving our world into being, and loving your life into being, and loving each other into being our best and more, and healed and whole. And then start to feel now the soul really glowing down at you, shining through the crown into the self, activating even more that mandala that is just basically a light ball now. No division, no separation, no difference. All one, all love, all light. And you feel that connection all the way up to Sirius. You feel that whole long light stream of higher and higher and higher consciousness, all available to you right now as it downloads on this big full moon. The full moon's coming down, our consciousness is raising up. That's how this works. Energy to energy, it's the most available at a full moon. And you feel yourself receiving and receptive to light, to the intelligence of light, to the greater plan that is for our highest good. And while you're here, let yourself have a healing, like literally a mental healing, an emotional healing, a physical healing. Whatever is needed, like allow that light to transmute, transmute, transmute. Whatever needs that in you now. And know that there's an intelligence within you that knows what you need right now. So it might be in the color of blue, or it might be in the color of green, or it might have a tonality to it that you can hear. But whatever you're noticing, just allow for it. And just trust the process, right? As you're moving into the meditation and into the silence. And here's our seed thought to work with. In the silence, we'll have some for some few minutes. One of my favorite phrases. I am light in form. I am light in form. We are light in form. I am light in form. And I am light informed. I am light informed. I make myself receptive to light. As you move into the silence now, take some of that or all of that into the depth of your meditation with that silvery, moving, transmuting light of the yin-yang. In motion, activated, like you pushed a button and it's moving. It starts the engine of this interconnectivity of light. I am light in form. I am light in form. Om. I am light in form. Om. We are light in form. Allow this light to be in every part of you. And feel this transmutative technique that we use tonight. Raise the consciousness of our own self, of course, first. And then you become a lighthouse, right? Your battery is charged. And you just are radiance. You are radiant. I am light in form. And you bless your world. And as you imagine, still through that ajna that I was talking about, imagine sending that energy to places and people specifically that you know about, countries, situations that you're aware of, and just send this light that's not disruptive, that is soothing, that is healing, that is uplifting, that even has joy in it, even in situations that don't feel joyful at all. That there's light in your blessing, not fear. Do you understand that difference? That there's light in your blessing, not fear. And that's a practice. So you just send that love, send that light to whatever you're thinking of, anyone that needs a little healing, to your own house, to your own country, to your other places that you're aware of and other people that you're aware of. Just send it out like just generous. Like there's not, your cup runneth over. And it just flows and flows and flows and flows and flows and flows, and you are radiance. You are radiant. Good. Good. And then when you're ready to, letting your breath get a little deeper and fuller as you begin to transition out of this healing meditation, where we did a couple of techniques, 3 actually, inside of it. You can kind of play with them as you start to learn those techniques in your body, and you learn how to actually use them in real life, because what I teach about is spiritual approach, right? And the practical application of spiritual principle. How do you use it? How do you do it? Right? So here we are, we did it. So thank you for being part of this and sharing your light with all of us, and that greater light that we become as we are around the campfire together in this deep and profound, important, powerful, world-changing time. It's a very big turning point for the planet and what happens, right? So this is important. So it matters. You matter. Your light matters. So I hope to see you again next full moon. It is, the next full moon is, when is it here? November 30th. And so that's a Monday. So we'll probably be doing it on Sunday, just so it'll be November 29th. And I hope you can be part of it. I'd love to hear your experiences if you have, and I love that you are here for this and that you shared your time for this very important work. Thank you very much, everyone. I'll see you next time.